Hi, Victory. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hi, Victory. Can you hear me? Hello? 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 Yeah, Victory. Can you hear me? Your your microphone does not seem to connect it yet. Hello? 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 Victory, can you hear me? Hello? 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 Hello?
Hi,
Hello?
Shinyan.
Hi. Hello. Hi, Victory. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me? Sorry, I
All
think
right. Yes.
something was off with
Okay.
my network.
All right. Okay. It's fine. All right. So thanks for coming on. Online.
Thanks
Is my voice all right?
for your time. Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you.
All right. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So yeah. So I just sent my father back home and going to work.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's
great news.
a smooth
That's great
process. God bless.
That's great news. That's great
Okay.
news. Awesome.
All right. Thanks. So how about your update?
Yes, I'm
News?
writing. I'm putting the documentation together. I think it's coming together now.
Okay, nice.
The key part or the
Okay.
key or the okay. Let me just share my screen.
Okay, sure.
I think I rewarded the abstract a little bit more.
Okay.
Let me just share this.
All right.
So do you want to read it or should I just give you a rundown?
Maybe you might have to read it and
Okay.
yeah, because yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So basically, I started with the explosion of in growth of communication devices.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of smart devices growing, and I give an example of Amazon where you have this 100,000 robots at the shipping warehouses. And this growth means there's need for more scalable solutions, more robust solutions
Okay.
to manage workload. I also highlighted that the centralized nature of the current systems
Okay.
quite expensive for scaling, as
Right.
well as there's one point of failure. So if something breaks, everything breaks.
Right.
So in a pub sub architecture, I go a bit into pub sub architecture,
Okay.
how it's a common theme for high scalability.
Okay.
And examples include the chat and cloud services. And pub sub architectures have been proven to be effective, in solving scalability issues. I make reference to the Twitter example where they have over 300,000 queries per second and
Okay.
150 million users,
Right.
and still people are able to receive their tweets in less than 5 seconds.
Okay.
But but the problem though is, these tech companies like Twitter, their source codes are private.
Right. Exactly. Right.
So, it's making it difficult for startups to compete.
Okay.
And
Or to offer similar service. Right.
or to offer similar services. Yeah. So I talk about how another solution that has been used in recent times is decentralized architecture.
Right.
That by decentralizing the system, you get better scalability and more
Right.
security, right?
Right.
And then I sort of start my conclusion here that saying by combining decentralized systems and pub sub architectures, as well as spatial partitioning, some form of spatial partitioning, we believe we can develop a robust and highly scalable architecture compared to uh, that could that alternative is the better word.
Sure.
alternative. Okay, I'll just highlight that for later.
Okay.
That's basically that can compete with current industry standards.
Right.
To that, we propose the development of highly scalable decentralized. So basically, this is the title ish: a highly scalable decentralized pub sub architecture or spatial pub sub architecture.
Okay.
And
That's
in
the
the last,
title.
yeah, I'm trying to use that as a title.
Okay.
The development of a highly scalable decentralized spatial pub sub architecture or algorithm. I'm not sure if architecture goes better or algorithm. A unique library called VAST, which is a lightweight open source. So I basically went back to VAST website to sort of extract some information there that supports spatial publish subscribe. Will be a key component in this research. And then I gave a bit of a background as to how it's built. It's built on a Vuon layer which performs partitioning of the network nodes, neighbor discovery, as well as spatial queries in bounded amounts of time.
Okay.
It's a library that has been tested in virtual worlds, and we also believe it can be used for different technology industries where there's any form of spatial distribution. And done. All right. So a bit of background. I go into a bit of background or introductory paragraphs. How the internet scale has changed. Basically how the internet has changed over time. The fourth industrial revolution, the publish subscribe architecture, and our alternative approach. How we first show a traditional channel-based pub sub architecture, and then we show how we can develop a spatial-based architecture based off a traditional approach, and then compare them with one another. And we specify that it's for a 2D plane, right? And then in section 2, we're going to a bit of theory or background information. I think that's the word to use, but the idea is to talk about centralized systems, how they work, decentralized systems, how they work, how they compare. And in section 2.2, we're talking about pub sub architecture and how it works, the traditional based pub sub. And then we then talk about channel based what's this now 10 spatial based pub sub. This still needs a little bit of work to just polish, I think, but the idea is there, how it works and the applications we can use for it. And again, this section, I'm not sure if I think it will probably go into, I don't know if I should leave it as a section like this or basically what we propose. And then some of these breakdowns will probably have to go into some of this content, but I was just trying to extract it based on the requirements of the paper what do you call it, the MMCs of the doctoral symposium. And I try to break it down as to, okay, I think this is important stuff. We talked about the real world problems, the need for highly scalable and robust infrastructure with, the rise in the use of devices and network devices, basically. And how current solutions are owned by corporations, but internal and private source code. Because of that, these systems are highly centralized and very expensive to develop and maintain.
Right.
And this has created a huge monopoly as well with regards to businesses and developers competing with them. Okay.
Did you mention Uber?
Sorry?
Did you mention Uber besides Twitter?
Yes, there's Uber here, yes.
Okay,
Twitter, Uber, Google, because they are the ones with the spatial map.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, they are the big three. Yes, I mean Uber
Yeah.
is in spatial, and Google also Maps, right? And
Yeah.
Twitter is
Yes.
channel-based, pops up.
Channel-based,
So it's
exactly.
all good examples. Yes, very nice.
Yes. So the current problem, or should I say the research problem is, with the current rise, how do we provide, a highly scalable, robust, and effective alternative uh, to industry standards?
Right.
Sorry. All right. This was like a rewarding. I don't think it's important now, but I'm just gonna highlight that. Um, and the objectives and the scope. So the aim of this research, I try to reward this a bit, to highlight the limitations of a centralized channel-based PubSub system, or
Okay.
architecture, right? To show how spatial PubSub can be built off the traditional channel-based PubSub architectures, and to show how a decentralized multi spatial routing architecture can counter scalability issues. Um, okay, I don't think I should add in traditional. Um, I'm just gonna highlight this. Sorry. But basically, to show how our open source approach can solve scalability issues in the industry across
Okay.
multiple industries, or in a spatially distributed region. Maybe I should use that. I don't know if you area. Okay, I'm just gonna change that. The system will include an API for channel, and okay, this I'm not sure if I should still include this, but this is just a placeholder for now. An API for channel and spatial based PubSub applications.
Okay. Nice.
It should be developed to be plug and play, such that it can be used across industries where spatial spatials, where systems are spatially distributed. Sorry, I'm just getting these ideas now.
It's nice. Very good.
Distributed. Okay. I said a decentralized virtual system to manage. Yeah, this is the Docker part. And to deploy a simple experimental equivalent for basic performance evaluation, and to evaluate these metrics: the packet loss rate, the bandwidth, the load balancing, and the what's that word you use to check states? Is it consistency
It's
or persistence?
yes. There's yeah. Basically, there are different matrix, right? Consistency, responsiveness,
Mm.
and obviously scalability, right?
Yes,
And also,
scalability.
but consistency and responsiveness are the two main, I think, quality matrix. Okay,
Okay.
in terms of the quality, yeah,
Okay.
and the yeah, and scalability, reliability. I mean, those are related to when the system becomes large scale and decentralized.
Yeah,
Right.
makes sense.
Okay.
Makes sense. All right. Um. All right. No, that's fine then. What's next? Yes. So I also put a note that we're not going to focus on limits and security. It's not some. It's something that's considered for the future. The methods used, I think they've been already described sort of around here. Oh wait, no, not really. But the methods used is gonna be. Sorry, what am I saying? The methods used basically is the system design. Basically the approach we use, our algorithms and stuff like that. And the main contribution will be the solution could provide a highly scalable, robust, and cost-effective alternative for users and developers. The work could provide a platform for startups and developers to compete with larger corporations with a fraction of the required budget. Um, the current systems are geared towards centralized based public pub sub architecture. This could potentially disrupt the market if it works, and
Right.
scalability. But I don't know if that should. I think I've already said this, so I'm repeating that. Yes, and basically the next phase is to sort of clean up these and sort of copy the images in Visio, for example, the flow charts, to show how. I know I have it in a different document. I have to look for that document though, but I just have to copy that out and sort of talk about how we design. So this will be number 4, system design. In terms of our publish subscribe algorithm. as well as the forwarding model, how we plan to forward the items or the messages from matcher to matcher. So basically,
Okay.
how the nodes are distributed using the Von architecture. I think there should probably be a Von, vast library. Sorry. Sorry. Before I see, sorry, I've gone over time a little bit. Is there any feedback so far? Just need to clean that up, please. I don't know if you're still there, Shinyan. I think you're muted.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
So, all right. So basically, is that the current update from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. All right. So just I like the structure. Okay. And
Okay.
just to quickly feedback, the first thing is, I think Victoria, I don't know if you've noticed, as you were explaining, you actually kept noticing things to improve, right?
Yes.
Okay. And this is very good. This
Yes.
actually shows that you already have a sense of basically what should or should not be in the paper or in the presentation flow, okay, in terms of the content.
Yeah.
So this means that you already have a sort of a judgment, okay, a judgment call in terms of what the paper's content, structure, quality should be. Okay, this is very good. What this means, actually, I think above all, is that because once you have this sort of internal sense about what might need to be contained or be explained, or what might be presented smoother, or what ideas could better explain, right? That means all you have to do is really to take the time and reiterating the process. Okay, and you can actually all do this by yourself on your own. Okay, so do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yes, absolutely.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, once you have sort of already an ability to have an internal standard as to what should or should be, what needs to be done, okay, you can actually self-improve upon your paper simply through iterating over it.
I reading it again.
Okay. And this is important because this, in some sense, it's kind of a self-learning. I mean, it's important to get feedback from outside, especially by experts or experienced people. Okay. But this ability to internally improve is actually very critical. Okay, as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and obviously with the help of external feedback, if they're expert relevant feedback, you can improve even faster. All right. But I just like to point out that I can see that you already have this internal sense, okay, of idea generation and self-feedback. Okay, so this is something you should recognize and be proud of.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Okay. This is actually already a milestone. All right.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I like to point out this to you because you may or may not notice this.
I didn't pay attention to it, but no, I feel cool actually.
But I like to congratulate you on this aspect. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
So so that's the first thing. All right. And I guess the second thing is just I like to check some of the important parts I feel that should contain this paper. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll just ask you if this is something that's already in the paper. Okay. So first, regarding the problem description, have you explained so what is channel-based pops up, and what is spatial-based, and what's the main difference?
I believe in the theory, I explained it in the theory section.
Okay.
I have to just check that to be sure.
All right.
I'm not sure if I highlighted. I just have to read it again.
Okay. All right.
But I'm taking notes
Okay, all right. So, I mean, just make sure that, I mean, the things I'm going to check with you, it's kind of like a checklist.
Okay.
Okay. Make sure that those points are properly covered.
Okay.
Okay, so I think the first is to explain to the reader what is channel base, what is spatial base pops up, and basically what's the difference. Okay.
Yeah.
And then okay, and then I think the next thing to check is have you explain why spatial pops up is something worth people's time and attention to take note of. Okay, do you think this is in the paper already?
Not probably not worded that way.
Okay, okay. Then make sure people who read your paper can see that. Do you see what I'm saying? It's kind of like you're selling something, right? It has lots of features. It has A, B, C. But you have to let people know that, okay, this is something we strongly view and believe. I mean, for example, like because of the massive, you know, popularity and emergence of mobile devices, sensor networks, right? Location-based devices and location data is only going to grow at an exponential rate. Okay, the devices, the data that's going to be spatial based, and you can even cite, you know, like, I mean, there are a lot of work, not just in outdoor location, but indoor location, right? Indoor location like factories, like office buildings, right? Like conference sites, right? Convention centers, for example, right? I mean, like indoor locating technologies will also make these kind of data. Just imagine, right? If you go into a conference and on your badge, basically they start to track your position. Which actually some conferences already do. Okay, when you install. I mean, in some, I guess, well, like Web Summit, for example, when you install the app, okay, I think they are able to track your location.
Wow.
With your, yeah. I mean, or okay, or they may not track on you individually, but they are going to track like you know, like what are some of the, I guess, the locations that are more popular, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So essentially, but I mean, you can think of this as the position, the spatial data is going to be more and more relevant.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess this is an important point to emphasize that the amount of spatial data is going to grow and potentially faster than other types of data.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And I don't know, there might be some work that's related, so you can cite them. All right. So I guess that's the second point. All right.
All right.
And make sure you have covered that. And the third, regarding the problem, you know, introduction, is, you know, have we explained that from channel base to spatial base pops up? The difference is actually very minor. Okay, in terms of when, you know, if we want to support a, you know, sorry, I guess the third point is to explain that the decentralized, I mean, spatial locations and having decentralized location, this is still not something that people have seriously looked at yet. Okay. Compared to channel base, right?
Yeah.
A lot of work probably has been already done in the channel based PubSub space. But regarding spatial PubSub, relatively little work has been done. some
Yeah.
work might have been done in like virtual worlds, right? Like you mentioned,
Yes.
games, right?
Mhm.
And also LBS services, okay?
Yeah.
But in some sense, they are mostly works done at different domains. They are very
Yeah.
domain specific,
Yeah.
okay? And they have not really been sort of treated in a generalized manner, meaning that,
Okay.
I mean, the spatial storage computing problem in different domains, whether it's
Mm.
maps, it's delivery service, it's geospatial database, right? Or
Mm.
games, they actually can be abstracted to a more fundamental problem, which
Okay.
is how do you support a decentralized architecture for spatial PubSub?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, is
Yeah.
that okay? So is that covered?
Um. Again, like there's like stuff written about that,
Mhm.
but like worded that way, definitely not. That's another way. That's a very good way to put it.
Okay, okay,
Sort of
then no
putting that
worries.
together.
Okay, you can definitely go back and check. But
I'm gonna
just
check.
to
Yeah.
reiterate, okay, I think the three main points in the introductions part is, okay, explain what is channel based, what is spatial based pops up, what's the difference?
Okay.
Okay, and then explain why should we pay attention to spatial pops up, right? Why
Okay.
should people care? Why is it important?
Yeah.
Why do we feel that this is something that's worth their time and energy to understand
Okay.
and to study and research,
All right.
right? And the third thing is why, why do we feel that this is, an important yet, underlooked at problem that, oh, sorry. And the third thing is to explain that we believe that there can be a generalized solution in the space instead of
Okay.
the many, many domain specific proposals so far,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So is that okay, Victory?
Yeah. That's very okay.
Okay, all right. So I guess make sure the 3 points are being covered. And I guess for the solution part, okay, the three main points are, well, have you explained the difference between channel and spatial PubSub?
Mm.
Can be, it's relatively minor actually.
Okay. All right.
Okay, has this thing explained?
Um, the change from channel to special base, right?
Right, right, right.
Yeah. Yes. I have to read it again, but I believe it has.
Okay, okay.
There was a placeholder I remember where I wanted to draw the flow chart to
Mhm.
sort of show what's the key difference, which is instead of subscribing to topics, you're subscribing to areas, and if instead of publishing to a topic, you're publishing to an area.
Right. That is explaining what is the difference between the two. But
Between the two,
here I'm
yeah.
talking about when you are offering a solution for that. There's only one place to change, which is the PubSub matching part.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Channel based, you check for, string matching. For spatial based, you check for overlap.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And that's actually the
Oh,
only
okay.
only difference you need to, that's the only change you need to make.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so is that covered? And
Uh,
just okay.
not really. I don't
Okay,
think so.
just make
I
sure.
will look
Okay,
at it
just make
again.
sure that it's covered. Okay,
Yes, I will make sure.
okay. And I guess the second point is, um, okay, when we are actually trying to decentralize a spatial PubSub, we can actually utilize many existing work,
Mm,
like we don't really care about the partition of method,
okay.
okay? Nor do we care about what applications we'll utilize it for. And we can only focus on how to support, you know, pop-up matching in a distributed manner, decentralized manner.
Okay.
Okay, make sure that is also being explained. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you get the second part? I mean, do you think this has been covered properly?
I think not properly. It has been covered, but not properly. I think that's the better way to put it.
Okay, okay, all right. Then make sure, make sure it's been covered properly in the sense that, readers of your paper can get that idea, okay, or that insight about, okay, about when we are doing such a, decentralized work, it doesn't have to be very complicated. You see, it can actually sit between two layers of abstraction.
Okay.
The abstractions toward the application is just the spatial pops up interface, right?
Yeah.
And the abstraction below is the discovery of neighbors.
Yes.
Or
yes.
the neighboring matchers. Okay.
Yep. Makes sense.
And we only have to deal with how we can properly provide a pops-up matching, spatial pops-up matching at the in the center, in the middle.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
So that's basically, so we have to sort of specify that then as well in terms of.
Right. I mean, basically, you can either describe it or use some examples to illustrate this or some figures. But
Okay.
I guess the key point is make sure the readers, can see that this is an important point to emphasize.
Okay.
That the reason why this is important is because then people will be able to see, like, okay, yes, it's not that difficult to actually design a spatial pop-up. Okay, and the problem, in fact, can be narrowed down to a single point of how do you decentralize the spatial pop-up matching. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And the third part of the solution part is to make sure we have explained and covered how we do that ourselves.
Okay.
Okay, in terms of protocol and messages.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, how do we do the middle layer, basically?
Okay. Okay. So I'm
All
just
right.
writing the note down. It's really good.
Is it okay or is it too much?
Yes. No. It's very good. It paints a picture. It's like a story, actually.
Yes, it is a story. It is a story.
Yeah, it's a very good.
You have to explain to people in a story format so that they understand the why first.
Okay.
I mean, explain the what a little bit, but explain the why. And once they're interested, then you explain the how.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And that's also a logical progression of how people understand things. Okay.
Makes sense.
Right. And a major part of your work or of any paper is actually try to explain and communicate clearly. Like exactly what you're doing, why is it important, how do you do it?
All right. Okay.
Okay. Sometimes how you communicate is 80% more important than the actual work that you do.
The actual.
It's essentially the same as saying marketing is 80% or 90% of the sales.
Yeah.
If you do the sales, the marketing right, then you can sell any stuff, any product.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, but this is not cheating. This is not to cheat people.
No.
There are real value, you see. but we have to communicate clearly in a logical
That's
fashion.
the marketing side.
Exactly, exactly. Writing paper is marketing.
It's marketing, yeah.
Yes,
Selling
it is
your
marketing.
product.
You have to see writing research paper as doing marketing.
Mm,
You are
Yeah.
marketing your research proposal
Yeah.
and your research result.
Nice.
Okay.
I hear you. Yeah.
All
I
right.
hear
All
you.
right. Okay. So finally, you will conclude. Okay. Mostly about how you are going to verify and validate our proposal and the current progress, things like that.
Okay.
Okay. And I will leave that to you. You know, do whatever you like.
Current progress.
Okay. But I
Can
think if
I
you get that,
Can we share like a link to the GitHub page as
sure,
well?
that's fine. That's
To
perfectly
invite-
fine. That's
yeah.
perfectly fine. To enlist people's help and curiosity
Yeah.
and collaboration. That's perfectly fine.
Okay. Yeah.
And I guess the point is, you know, if you do the first two parts right, why is it important and how we do it? Then, you know, people will buy the paper.
Mm.
Okay.
Makes sense. Yeah.
All right. I guess so. Any questions?
Yeah, this is perfect actually. This is really good. Thanks so much. Thanks so
Okay.
much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
So
No worries.
I'm gonna
This
just
is- Mhm.
so I'm just gonna create I don't want to call it a new document, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna create a document and start telling the story of this, for example. So to sort of say, okay, what are the questions? What is channel based pops up? Answer that question if it has not been answered yet, and if it has been answered, see if it's properly worded
Mhm.
to highlight what we're trying to say, and just
Right.
basically put it one section at a time,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
then
Sure.
yeah.
All right. Okay. So with that, I hope this is enough material and feedback for you to work over the weekend
Yeah.
and make
I
a
think I'm-
really good submission. Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna go to the lab, I think, over the
Okay.
weekend tomorrow.
Sure.
And this
Sure.
Sunday, just to
All
power
right.
through.
So, all right. So don't worry. Do your best. Okay. And you know, just deliver your shots. And yeah,
Okay.
and take the shot. Okay.
Yeah, that's very important.
Take
Taking
the
the
shot.
shot.
Take the shot. All right. Okay.
All right. Thanks so much, Union.
All right, no worries. So
And
I guess I'll see you same time Monday then. All right.
Monday, yes, sir.
Right, Monday. All right. Okay. All right. So take care.
Yeah, and good news. Congrats on your
Yeah.
dad going
Thanks.
back home. Yeah,
Thanks. All right. So take care. Yeah. Bye bye. Bye bye.
yeah, just bye, sir.